This is Anastasia. She is an adult film actress, Onlyfans model, and TikTok star. She talks about her life on this TV show. But just 2 weeks later, her dead body, stabbed 13 times, would be found in her apartment. It turned out that the body had been lying in the bathroom for almost a week. But all this time, the mysterious killer posted her live photos and videos on her Instagram account and chatted on her behalf with her relatives and friends. Why did someone murder her? This incident occurred in a prestigious area of the Russian city of St. Petersburg. In August 2022, the body of 26-year-old Anastasia Grishman was found in one of the high-rise buildings after her friend decided to call for help. When the police officers opened the door of the apartment where Anastasia lived, they discovered a terrible corpse smell. The girl's body was lying in the bathroom and was visibly decomposed. It was clear to everyone that she was killed a few days ago. As the examination showed, he had 13 stab wounds, and the murder occurred about a week ago. Blood was everywhere in the apartment, on the bed, floor, and bathroom. It became clear that the killer first brutally inflicted several wounds on her in the bedroom and then dragged the body into the bathroom. He also curtained the window and plugged the pipes so the neighbors would not smell the corpse. Scattered items and a half-assembled suitcase were also found in the apartment. It looked as if Anastasia was planning to move somewhere, but did not have time to do so. The killer was cruel but cunning. He did not get rid of the body but left it to decompose in the bathroom. He stole the girl's phone, corresponded with her relatives on her behalf, and even sold some of her things through social networks. There was no doubt the killer was not a random robber. He was a man who knew Anastasia well and decided to deal with her brutally. Anastasia could have many enemies since her lifestyle and occupation seemed very dubious to many people. She could also have been killed for money since she earned good by local standards. She had a lot of expensive things: a sports car, cosmetics, fur coats, computer equipment. There could have been many motives for killing her. Anastasia Grishman was not an ordinary woman. Many people call people like her freaks. Indeed, she really stood out in the crowd. Her body was covered approximately 80% with tattoos. She even had tattoos on her face. For example, under her right eye, she had the word "hope" written in English. Anastasia also loved to dress provocatively and drive a pink sports car. She loved to shock the public and attract attention. She had over 300 followers on TikTok, but she wanted even more fame. In 2022, her big dream came true, and she became the heroine of one of the episodes of a talk show on Russian television. According to the program's plot, Anastasia's relatives and friends gathered in the studio and were outraged that she had begun acting in adult films with her husband. But Anastasia loved her job and was only amused when people criticized her. She liked any attention coming her way, even negative attention. On the TV show, Anastasia showed herself to be a girl with a complex character. Indeed, she became like this because she had a difficult life. She grew up in a poor family in a dormitory in the Russian city of St. Petersburg. Her father drank heavily and never took part in the girl's life. Her mother was so poor that she sent her teenage daughter to live with her grandmother. Anastasia had to start working early. From the age of 12, she was interested in drawing and programming. At 15, she got her first tattoo. Then she covered almost her entire body with tattoos by herself. Only she did not have tattoos on her back because she could not reach that place. Her hobby turned into work. She began making tattoos for other people and drew all the designs herself. Anastasia was a talented artist. Just to look at her job, anime inspired her most, but many of her drawings seemed dark and depressing. Indeed, Anastasia suffered from depression for a long time and visited a psychotherapist. She often talked about this on her TikTok account. She also likely had an eating disorder as she was constantly trying to lose weight. Despite this, her social media popularity grew, and many fans aspired to be like her. Anastasia launched her own courses and trained other tattoo artists. The girl was entirely successful in her profession and earned much more than ordinary tattoo artists in her city. She was successful in her profession, but in her personal life she was often unlucky. Her close friends said she chose the wrong guys. Many of them used illegal substances. At the same time, Anastasia herself never used any substances and did not even drink alcohol since she did not like it. One day, a guy named Dimitri came to her appointment and asked for a tattoo. They immediately found a lot in common and began to be friends. At the same time, Dimitri was in a relationship with another girl, but for the sake of Anastasia, he broke up with her. Anastasia's friends disapproved of her choice since Dimitri seemed unpleasant to them. He said a lot of nasty things about his ex, for example, that she allegedly attacked him with her fists, and he defended himself. The ex-girlfriend admitted that Dimitri sometimes beat her, but Anastasia did not believe her words and thought this would never happen to her. She was in love with her new boyfriend, who became her husband. In addition, Dimitri began to participate in her work project as a manager and helped her organize the entire process. Dimitri also invited Anastasia to try herself as an actress in adult films. The girl, who was very relaxed and brave, agreed because she wanted to try a new experience. She also registered on the Onlyfans website, where she posted her candid photos and videos. These videos collected hundreds of thousands of views. Of course, Anastasia's friends and relatives were shocked and tried to dissuade her, but she claimed she was not doing it for the money, but simply because she liked it. In addition, she always acted only with her husband and never with other men. Many people hated her, but Anastasia was confident in her choice and was proud of her excellent income. She could rent a large apartment, drive sports cars, buy collections of expensive fur coats, help her mother, and not deny herself anything. This was a great success for a simple girl who was born in a dormitory. The family she grew up in barely survived in poverty, and Anastasia decided to live comfortably and buy branded items, no matter the cost. Therefore, she took on any job. Most often she worked from home. In her apartment, one of the rooms was equipped as a tattoo parlor, where she worked with clients, and the other room was equipped for video filming. Anastasia's friends and relatives accused her husband of involving her in a dubious industry. It also turned out that Dimitri had previously been convicted twice for theft and refusing military service. But the girl defended her love and even came to the TV show with her husband to tell everyone how much she loved him. She was not at all embarrassed about her work. Reviewing these old video recordings where Anastasia is still alive, I become very sad for her. After all, she still did not understand that friends and relatives were so right when they tried to open her eyes to the person she lived with. Indeed, the couple's relationship worsened over time. They began to quarrel often. Anastasia told her mother she wanted to leave her husband and go to South Korea. There, she planned to open her own tattoo parlor and stay for permanent residence. She adored the culture of this country. But Dimitri could not go with her since he could not leave the country due to his criminal record. In addition, Anastasia began to dislike the fact that he almost stopped working and only she brought the primary income to the family. She was a bright girl and she quickly found new fans. Friends said she had a romantic love story with a new man before her death. But she was not destined to carry out her plans. When the body of 26-year-old Anastasia was found with stab wounds in the bathroom, no one doubted that her husband had done it. Dimitri immediately admitted that he did it in the heat of a quarrel, but then he suddenly changed his testimony and stated that Anastasia herself asked him about it. Allegedly, they had an agreement that he would kill her any time she asked for it. According to Dimitri, Anastasia had recently gone entirely crazy. She was severely depressed and did not want to live, but could not do it herself. During an investigative experiment, Dimitri showed how he killed his wife. He stabbed her several times in the neck while she slept in bed. Then several more wounds to the body. Then he hid the body in the bathroom to play for a time until no one found her. Dimitri said during interrogation that he was going to die himself later. But it's hard to believe because he began selling his wife's expensive things over the internet. He also sold several trainings online on her behalf. He was interested in getting money, but why did he need money if he did not want to live anymore? He likely planned an escape, but did not have time to carry it out. Dimitri also behaved completely carelessly and, for some reason, confessed to his new girlfriend about the murder. At first, the girl did not want to intervene, but a few days later, she finally contacted the police. Thanks to her call, Anastasia's body was found. His behavior was too irrational. Perhaps he was not aware of his actions at all, or was under the influence of substances. It is unlikely that this was a targeted murder, and it's unlikely that he did it just because she asked him to. Anastasia did have mental problems, but everything indicated that she wanted to live. She was going to fly to another country, flirted with other men, and even sold 2 of her cars to get money to move. Friends said that despite her depression, she wanted to live. In addition, in the room where she was killed, there were signs of a struggle, scattered things and a broken sofa. It did not look like an arranged murder at all. It looked like Dimitri attacked her in a fit of rage and killed her. He had many motives for doing this. The first motive was that he could not come to terms with the fact that she wanted to break up. He felt great with a wealthy and successful girl and did not want to leave. He was constantly offended if she talked about her success and humiliated him. And finally, if he found out about her new boyfriend, he could attack her out of jealousy. Another motive is money. After Anastasia's death, Dimitri sold almost all of her things and stole cash from the sale of cars. But what did he expect? Did he want to hide abroad? It's unlikely he had a plan. It looked like a spontaneous murder. The husband killed his wife because he could not control his anger. Now, Dimitri will spend many years in prison, and for her friends, Anastasia Grishman will forever remain alive. Fans still remember her and continue to maintain her fan club pages on social networks. Anastasia was buried in a cemetery in her hometown of St. Petersburg. All her friends and relatives gathered at the event. And even her funeral was turned into an extravagant show. A film crew from one TV channel came to the cemetery. Anastasia's mother allowed them to film for a monetary reward, and then the woman herself went to a TV show where, sitting in a black mourning outfit, she spoke about the life of her scandalous daughter. Who knows, perhaps she also received a fee for these shootings. It just so happened that Anastasia Grishman's life was always on show. She posted her entire life on the internet, and even her funeral was filmed. After her death, almost all the newspapers in her city and country wrote about her, and several television shows were dedicated to her. She got her moment of fame, but it hardly matters now. And even if her lifestyle seemed questionable to many, she certainly did not deserve such a sad end. Remember that evil is near, and thanks for watching.